Everyone, hello. Good day to all of you. So today we are here with a video on haloalkanes and haloarenes. This is one of the most important topics from this chapter and almost a guaranteed question in entrances, and of course the boards are there from this topic. That is the mechanisms of nucleophilic substitution reactions, and to be precise we are talking about the SN1 and SN2 mechanisms. Okay, SN1 and SN2. Now SN1 and SN2 we would be dealing with separate videos. So in this video we talk about SN2, in the next video we talk about SN1. Okay, now before beginning off with the SN2 reaction, let us first try to understand what is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. To understand that, we first need to understand what is a nucleophile. So let's try to understand what a nucleophile and a nucleophilic substitution reaction actually is. Now when you have already learnt about nucleophiles in class 11 in the chapter of general organic chemistry, I do have a video in detail about nucleophiles. I'll just brief it up. Nucleophile is any substance, we denoted by Nu, which is electron rich. If it is electron rich, that means the substance will have a net negative charge on it. Okay, now the name of nucleophile means nucleus loving. Nucleo means nucleus and philic means loving. Phile is always loving, phobic is hating. So nucleophilic means nucleus loving species. Now what do I mean by nucleus loving? Now if you take care of the nucleus in an atom is composed of proton and neutron. Neutrons are neutrally charged, so a nucleus has protons which are positively charged, and hence nucleus in an atom always is positively charged. So nucleus loving means a nucleophile will be that substance which would love positive charge. Now by the law of charges we already know that opposite charges attract each other and like charges repel. So the positive charge of the nucleus will only be attracted by a negative charge, and negative charge is there in the electron. So any species which will be having a net negative charge, as you can see here, will be loving the positive charge to get stabilized. So nucleophile becomes any species which is loving nucleus or which is attracted towards positively charged, and by the law of charges we can say any negatively charged species will only attract the positively charged. So the negatively charged species becomes a nucleophile, and negatively charged species can only be when it has excess of electrons. Okay, so any electron rich species will be a nucleophile. Electron rich means it may have a negative charge or it may have lone pairs. So for becoming electron rich, E rich, it can either have a negative charge to become an anion, or it can be having a lone pair, okay, of non-bonded electrons. Then also it will become electron rich. So if I talk about this molecule which you can see here, wait, I'll just show it with a different color so it will be clearer to you. If you can see this molecule here, I have drawn ammonia. Nitrogen has 5 electrons, out of which 3 are bonded to hydrogen here, and there are 2 electrons which are in the lone pair. So these are excess electrons giving the nitrogen a negative charge, and this becomes a nucleophile. Okay, SO4 2 minus, SO4 2 minus, 2 minus is a negative charge, it's an anionic species, so it becomes a nucleophile which will be attracted towards positively charged species. Okay, alright. So now let us try to understand what a nucleophilic substitution reaction actually means. Substitution reaction is any reaction in which one entity comes in place of the another entity. So nucleophilic substitution will be when one nucleophile comes in place of another element in a hydrocarbon and replaces it. So the first thing you can see here is the nucleophile which is there in the alkyl halide. We are talking about haloalkane, so a carbon bonded to a halogen will be there, and the nucleophile substitutes this halogen and forms a bond with the carbon, and in the end the halogen is formed as a halide negative. Okay, now understanding how this all happens, you should know that in a alkyl halide the carbon is bonded towards the halogen, and this bond between the carbon and halogen, the halogen is much more electronegative than carbon, so it pulls the electrons towards itself and develops a negative charge. If halogen develops a negative charge, then carbon automatically will develop the positive charge. As it is positive charge, that means it is a positively charged entity, that means it will be attacked by a nucleophile easily because nucleophile is looking for a positively charged entity. So this nucleophile will break the bond of the carbon and halogen. It will cleave this, cleave means breaking the bond, and form the bond between the carbon and the nucleophile, which would stabilize the carbon as well as the nucleophile, and the reaction will be there. What is left is a halide negative which has been replaced, so the halide negative is evolved. So this is the co-product of the reaction. So because of the high difference of electronegativity between carbon and halogen, carbon develops a positive charge and becomes a carbocation, which makes it favorable to be prone to an attack by the nucleophile, which substitutes the halogen, and the halogen negative is evolved with a carbon nucleophile molecule formed. And this becomes a stable molecule as the net charge is 0, because the negatives of the nucleophile and positive of the carbon cancel each other. Alright, so this was about your nucleophilic substitution reactions. It is one of the most important reactions in organic chemistry involving alkyl halides. Alkyl halides are substrates in these reactions in which carbon has a positive charge and the substitution takes place. Okay, so we will now be starting with the mechanisms of nucleophilic substitution reactions in the next video. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe.